guys, very disappointing loss, but I'm going to accept. I'm going to do something that I was told not to when I got into this coaching profession. Don't look at a player. That loss falls strictly on me. My job is to get a team ready to play. And, I made a coaching mistake. It was interesting. I got up early this morning and watched a documentary on Vince Lombardi. When you get older, you start worrying about people liking you. And I did not work my team. Felt sorry for them. I did not work them like I normally do, and put a lot into the Oakland Eastern thing, and got just what I deserved. Wasn't like we took days off, but we didn't practice as hard. Too worried about my little guys getting tired, and so just a shame. But you got to give Mike Davis all the credit in the world. His kids played harder than us. They shot better than us. They rebounded the ball, not quite as good as us. They turned us over more. They made big plays. They made their free throws. They got to the free throw line. Our whole game plan was stop penetration. We didn't do that. We talked about getting guys in foul trouble, and then we got Valentine in foul trouble right off the bat, and just don't have enough bodies left, playing some guys. But we didn't shoot it well. We had some great shots. We live by the three, you die by the three. It's another good lesson. But in general, the losses all go to the head coach. This one should have an asterisk next to it to say that he solely did not do his job. So for all the guys that told me never to ever, ever in the history of the world admit that it's the coach's fault, hear me out. That was a coaching loss, and I take full responsibility for it, and I plan on rectifying it starting at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Questions?
Tom, was there any reason, was Clark or Ellis, did they get injured during the game? Any particular reason why they never made it back in?
My choice.
Tom, this is the first game against a lower mid-major that you guys haven't looked dialed in right from the get-go. Is it an example of this group also, especially without Dawson, not having the horses to rev it up if you're not there right at the beginning, like you had sometimes with last year's team and other teams?
My best players didn't play very well, of course, but I'm supposed to be the best coach. He didn't coach very well, so I'm taking more of the hit than the players. I mean, Travis struggled and Zell struggled, but I don't think we needed more horses. I think we just needed a little better job, and give them credit too. The kid Carter, this is his second game. He didn't play. He was ineligible, and he came back. He hit the big three. He made, we didn't adjust to the fact that he could pick and pop, and we had so many different lineups in there with Kobe and trying to play JB, and my freshman got a lot of growing up to do, especially Marvin. He's got to grow up. Didn't do anything that wrong. He just wasn't dialed in, and I warned him. I said that I'm not afraid to lose, and I lost.
In overtime, you went with Wallerman instead of Best at the 4. Why'd you do that?
He was so tired, he hasn't played. He didn't know the stuff. Kobe did all right. It wasn't Kobe's fault. Best players didn't play well. Best coach didn't coach well. And that's why we lost the game. It really wasn't Kobe's fault. It really wasn't. You think about it, we had wide open threes. I give Mike all the credit in the world. He did a hell of a job, but we did have some wide open shots. We had layups, that one with Gavin. That's a dunk, and it just goes right through his hands. You just needed one basket. So we missed some plays, but I didn't think we were ready. And when we got in foul trouble, and then we subbed, and I think I will jump on the officiating. A big call, boy, when we were 8 up or 10 up, and I thought he was straight up and down, and he get 2 free throws out of that. That was a big play, but no play bigger than the coach not having his team ready to play.
Tom, did you practice just once heading into this, and was it just not as intense of a practice as typical? Or?
No, I practiced twice. I practiced, we played, Wednesday? I practiced Thursday and Friday. It was just kind of a sissy practice, I mean, it was do your thing, do what you got to do. But was there energy? Yeah, there was some energy. Did I have to get on them harder? A little bit. Then I kind of pulled back because, just kind of figure that, you can't use all your bullets up. You can't use all your arrows up. You got to sometimes rely on fighting through and winning the game the hard way, and we didn't do that. So I think I'd rather go down using everything up personally. So I continue to say this. Headlines, Izzo's fault.
Tom, I'm curious, we talk about the crowd a lot and the students aren't here.
Yeah, they really tried,
But is this
man.
kind of a game where if the students are here, maybe that?
No.
Maybe there can be a lift late in the game?
No, I appreciate the
I'm trying to
built-in
blame the crowd.
excuse. In fact, I thought the crowd, we haven't gotten to the point yet where we can pack the place for anybody, I guess. But the crowd in general, guys, was so good trying to get us back. They really were. I mean, is it the same as the students? Of course not. But if I rated the crowd as a 7, I'd have to rate me as a negative number. They didn't do. They tried their hardest. I thought 2, 3, 4 times, and we had to make big stops. They did, and then they hit that big 3 and went up 1 and kind of took the wind out of everybody's sails. But it sure wasn't the crowd, guys. It was the way the team came to play today was not right, and they didn't screw off in practice. Nobody missed curfew. It's a big boys game, and big boys didn't show up.
Tom, with a one-day turnaround, what do you emphasize with the team?
I'm going to find out what the NCAA legally allow me to practice tomorrow, and I'm going to probably exceed it. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm not going to emphasize anything, but we're going to play harder, we're going to play smarter, and we're going to come ready to play. And how I do that, I'll probably sit up all night thinking about it, but I'm not. This is not an one-time thing here. This is unexcusable to not play, to drop balls, to fumble balls, to not stop dribble penetration, to know that when you're on the sideline, they're going to drive baseline. We went over it 100 times, but in my good days, we would have gone over it 200 times. So tomorrow we'll go over some of those things 200 times.
How much would Dawson being out mess things up?
Messed them up for me because of the rotation. I got Kobe, and then to be very blunt and honest with you, he didn't do nothing wrong. But at halftime, when I'm talking to Marvin, he's not dialed in. So he's either going to be dialed in or dialed out. He's going to have to figure it out. That's what freshmen do. They figure it out. Forbes figured it out. That threes don't go in. You still got to guard somebody. You got to figure it out. And we got a lot of new guys. We got a lot of young guys. We got a lot of guys that haven't played at this level. And today we learned what it's like, and yet, boy, it sounds like I'm taking too much away from Mike. I'm happy for him. He came in here. He played everybody at any place, and he's been on the road, and his kids played hard. They were more physical than us. In the post, I thought there were some elbows and bad plays, but I give his kids credit, man. I loved watching them play. He played hard. He played just like he coached when he was at Indiana and deserved everything he got today.
I was going to ask, Paul, just with Best, what did you see overall from Best today?
Well, he's so tired. He got so tired he could barely breathe in the huddles, and probably played him too much. We just didn't have a 4-man that I could play, and he's not ready to play 17 minutes in a game where the offense moves like they do. But he did some good things. I don't blame that on him. He didn't know what he was doing on some of the things, and sure it wasn't his fault. We we had hoped to get him in there and run a few things. We kind of shrunk our package, and we had to open it up, and that hurt us a little bit, but just I just can't reiterate enough. My job is to have my team ready to play, and we weren't. Anything else? Sure.
Just want to ask, with Dawson, then, do you think at this point, I know it's early going to be reevaluated, but that he would wear something and be back for the Maryland game? Is that the idea right now?
I don't mean to say this, Joe, but you guys are amazing. You know what? I'll make you a deal. Call our doctor and ask him, because this day and age, a coach does not get involved with any of those decisions. It's illegal. Somebody will sue you. So I have no idea. I have zero idea. When he does play, whenever that is, he's probably going to be in a it's in his wrist, so he will not be able to, but I won't be giving you day-to-day updates because he will do nothing until he gets back. And I'll be very honest with you, I don't know what he'll do then, because an x-ray's an x-ray. I don't trust them anyway. We get x-rays, and then they get MRIs and IPUs, and I don't even know what they got anymore. But I have no idea. I would talk to Dr. Kovan. Be more than happy to give you his number. He might as well enjoy some of the fun of this job himself, and he can decide what he wants to tell you. But I don't hold stuff back, as you know. I never do that. But I have no idea. I feel bad for Brandon. It's a bad situation for him. Did it hurt us? Well, of course it hurt us. But it hurt us because we don't have those other guys back yet either. It wasn't fair to Javon to put him in that situation. It's just that I felt more comfortable with him defensively than I did Marvin. And we tried to do the best we could do with what we could do. And they took advantage of some things. They really did a nice job. Again, give Mike Davis some credit after you really nail me, and deservingly so, but give him some credit because he did a hell of a job. And his kids played as physical and as tough as any Big Ten team will play. And I take my hat off to